morning, good evening, hello. I want to talk to you today about logic, these funky things, but I want to do it from a point of view, like myself, where you might not really know what you're doing with the logic. I am not going to go into what all these functions do, but I will provide this screenshot that will tell you what they all do. But I won't go into detail because honestly, I don't fully understand it, and giving you bad advice wouldn't be a great idea. Instead, I'm going to talk to you about my favourite piece of logic, the memory bit. And why I love this so much is because it has let me pretty much automate everything. I've got this little basket that will go around and collect all the scrap leg things. So it's all using the same memory bit. So it'll trundle itself out. The door opens on a memory bit. And then what happens is this has got a sensor that then spins it backwards as it ragdolls me. So that'll then go backwards using the memory bit, and then again using the sensor, it'll activate when it's in position and it'll stop there, all using wonderful memory bits. But that's why I love memory bits so much. They enable you to do so much if you know so little about logic. If you can nail down this memory bit, you should be able to do most things that you want to do. It might not be the most compact way of doing it, and for sure, you know what? There are proper ways to do things. I like this way because I kind of know what I'm doing with it. Here is your standard memory bit. Uses 3 gates. Thanks to Germanite, who kind of made something a little bit obvious to me that I didn't really realise. If you use 4, you're going to save a world of problems. And here's why. So a standard memory bit is just the 3 logic gates. And what you do is you connect them in a loop like so. Does not matter which way you go. You can go clockwise. You could go counterclockwise. Just have 3. Then what you're going to need to do is you want to set these up. So these 2 at the side want to be NOR gates. And the one at the top wants to be an OR gate. As you can see, it is going crazy. This is where the 4th gate comes into play, and it'll help us out. Just keep it as a standard AND gate, and then you literally just connect those 2 side NOR gates to that AND gate, and then back to the top. And what that does is basically means that these can't be on at the same time, so it just basically stops it in its tracks. So this is what we've got. This is our memory bit. How this works. Anything that comes out of this, so this is where you want to run your controllers, your lights, your pistons, like anything like that, that is what is going to activate. So, for argument's sake, we're going to put a controller in here, and we're going to put a little swingy army thing on this, on a bearing, whoop, just to give us a visual demonstration of what the heck I'm going on about. So, this is connected up to this. And this controller, we'll do it at 360, and we'll do it fast, and we'll loop it just so that it's constantly spinning. So now if I connect this controller to this, this bearing will spin round. This to this, whee, and it spins round. And that's what it'll do. So what a memory bit does now is lets me put an input into this, so I can put a switch into this side, and a switch into this side, or a button. I prefer buttons, because a memory bit is kind of like a lock. So if I tell it to do something on a push button, it will do it until I tell it stop. Confusing, I know. So what we want to do is if we want to stop, we want to press this side. And if we want to go, we want to press this side. So I'll do that in colours for you. If you want to press stop, this is our stop button, and stop is connected to this. And if you want to go, this is our go button, and go is connected to this, which turns this on. Strange, I know, but it'll look a little bit like this. So we're currently off. The little leg isn't spinning. Go! And yes, I know that this one turns on, but it helps you guys see where you link it to. Does that make sense? So now if we press the red, boop, it'll turn this off, and it resets the whole lot. That is the very basic memory bit, but I use this, like I say, in all sorts of things. But this is a very simple and basic memory bit, and you don't need any of this funky stuff. You can literally use this as it is, so easy. So like I say, we could run lights off it. So if you've got a system of lights in your building and you want to turn them on, you run in, you press your button so it's on, press your button so it's off. Enables you to do so much. Don't forget though, this can also run multiple things. So what happens, for example, that you want to use a door but you want to have it open for a certain amount of time. What we've got here is a controller set up to our top logic gate, and we've got it set to open 90 degrees. And it's going to happen quick. So now if we turn it on, the door opens and we can scooch through it, but it doesn't turn itself off until we push a button. That might be what you want, might not be. What I'm going to show you here is how you can use a timer to reset it. So if we reset our circuit, we need to hit the red stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to come from the timer into our red gate. But how we're going to do that is we're going to come from the same logic at the top that activates everything. So what that basically does is say when we press the green, start the timer. I'm going to count this for let's say 5 seconds just for video purposes. So we go to 5 seconds here. When I push the green now, you see the timer starting to count down, and when it hits 5 seconds, it'll close. It'll reset the whole thing, and it closes it. So that means I don't need this push button. We can just go, timer resets, and closes. Now what it does mean is I can't actually push this button until the circuit is switched back over here, and then I still can't push it until the timer's counted down again. That might be something that you want, that might not be. I don't know. So that's a basic way to kind of use a timing piece automatically. Well, how does sensors work? Sensors work in exactly the same way. Take a sensor, and we'll connect the sensor again to our red piece. So don't forget that this bad boy over here is our reset. So that bad boy over there is our reset. So now what happens is we turn this on and it'll stay on. It'll stay on until something goes over the sensor. So if we can see, if I put this in front of the sensor, it activates that red and it closes it. So that's all I do with all the gubbins over there. How I use that for my kind of transporty vehicle, real simple. I've got 2 sets of bearings set up on a controller. So I have this system. I have first bearing, block, second bearing. And I run that off of 2 controllers. So I have one controller that will go this way. And one controller that will go that way. So when I push the button, I want this controller to activate. So this controller will just trundle away on a loop to its heart content. And it's important that you guys see which way this goes. So this will spin this way round. Then what we're going to do is need to set up this controller. Now what we want to do is have it on a sensor. So what we're going to say is, and we're going to need another memory bit for this. So when the sensor spots anything, we want it to deactivate this memory bit. We want it to activate this memory bit. So what this will do is change the direction of the controller. 4 gate at the top, 2 NOR gates at the side. Don't forget our magical little AND gate at the bottom, which stops everything from blinking like it is. Bada bing, bada boom. So when this is on, we want it on here. And then we want this one to go, same thing again, but it will be the other way around, as you see. So how we stop that is I'm just going to put that on a push button to show you guys. So we're currently all circuits are off. So if we press this button, this is going to spin this way around. Now if we stand in front of our sensor, it's going to turn this memory bit off, this memory bit on, and it's going to change the direction of this. So you currently see it's kind of spinning clockwise. So now if we stand in front of a sensor, it's now spinning anti-clockwise. And it will do so now until I press this button. It's that simple. How I've got it set up on my machine is I've got another sensor that kind of notices when it's back in its position that it needs to be in, and that runs that instead of the push button. So now what we have is I turn my system on and it will drive out. It will spot the wall, so it will change direction and it will come back into base. And then when it's in base, this sensor picks it up and it stops. Real easy, just using a load of memory bits. I know it's probably an easier way, but honestly for me this has been the most fun thing to do because it's enabled me to do so much. Point of warning, a logic gate is directional, so it does matter which direction you drag. So if I've got these 3 things here and I want to loop these up, I cannot do this and expect it to loop because I've got 2 going the same way. It matters which way you drag it. You have to drag it from the direction that you want it to the direction you want to go. So simply put, if I want to go from green to blue, I have to drag it in that direction. I have to drag from green to blue. I cannot go from blue to green and expect blue to work when I do something to green. It's the wrong way. Keep that in mind and see where you get to. If anybody wants any help with some logic, especially memory, drop us something in the comments and I'll see if I can help you guys. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it for watching. Thank you very much. I'll see you again in a bit. Bye, guys.